Hello everybody and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Luis Casals and I'm the sales manager here at Comer Process Technology and also a solid liquid separation expert, a drying expert. Today's webinar that will take around 30 minutes. We will be discussing the main concepts, the main tips we should have always present before to choose a vacuum dryer. This webinar will be focused to provide general information about the most common vacuum dryers by comparing them. Even we know this is a quite common technology, we know as well there are too many different options and time to time it's not easy to choose the right one. The question is, there's no room for misunderstandings, there's no room for mistakes. Choose the right vacuum dryer is a must. Please keep my contact details if you want to contact me later on to solve any question, any issue, if you want to go deep in any concept, or maybe if you want to deal a new project. This presentation will have 4 parts. First, we will spend a few seconds describing vacuum drying technology. Later on, we will oversee the main common characteristics for all of different vacuum dryers. I will introduce the most well-known equipment, well-known vacuum dryers to be compared during the webinar. And finally, I will be finding the most suitable option for each topic we raise. Notice during the webinar we never mentioned the best vacuum dryer, because the best vacuum dryer is always the right vacuum dryer. Vacuum drying is a technology focused to remove the moisture from a heat-sensitive solid by creating vacuum, decreasing the chamber pressure below the liquid vapor pressure. The liquid simply boils. Then this is the way how we separate a solid than a liquid. Before comparing all different technologies, I would like also to share the most common characteristics for all different vacuum dryers. Here you can see in this slide the main common ones. This is a batch-wise technology. We deal batch after batch. The time we leave the solid inside the unit, inside the dryer, is variable. For this, we can achieve a really low end moisture content. Also for this, it's possible to manage many different products. We can dry a paste, we can dry a slurry, wet solids, even we can dry suspensions, why not? As we work under vacuum, this is a really contained process. For this is suitable for flammable, for toxic products. This is a quite common technology for API manufacturing, even high potent API. As a contained process, as a tight process, it's easy to control. And of course, we can recover all solvent we remove from the solid. Knowing that we work at really low temperature during drying process, this is a gentle technology. Mixing energy depends on the dryer we choose. Depending on the model, depending on the agitator, etc., we can provide more or less mixing energy. In all different vacuum dryers, heat is transferred through a jacket, indirect way, but always by conduction, because the product is always directly in contact with the heated areas. Of course, this is a GMP technology, FDA approved. Clean in place zip is always included, and of course, if it's necessary, we can also sterilize the equipment before drying. Even the initial investment is higher than other technologies. Maintenance, operational, and non-quality costs are lower. Notice that in such kind of equipment there are no mechanical parts working at a high speed. For this, even the capex is higher than other technologies, OPEX is really lower. These are the most well-known vacuum dryers you can find in the market. We know there are few further options, but less common. First of all, I would like to introduce you the nudge filter dryer. The second one is the paddle dryer. The third one is the horizontal vacuum dryer. The fourth one, vertical cone vacuum dryer. And the fifth, the last one, the vacuum pan dryer. These are all different vacuum dryers we will be comparing during this webinar. This is the main slide we will be dealing during this webinar. In the first column I've placed the main concepts, the main tips to talk about, and in the other 5 columns I've placed the main information for each option. For all 5 vacuum dryers I've previously introduced. During this webinar, we will be descending along the first column, raising the main concepts and finding the most suitable option for each. Now it's just time to start. During the following slides, you will see always the same legend in the left-hand side. Just to highlight the tip or the concept we are dealing. And also below, you will see a second legend, just to show the most suitable option for the referred concept. Regarding configuration, first concept, we have vertical and horizontal vacuum dryers. These are the 3 vertical dryers we are comparing. Presso filtro or nudge filter dryer, in the middle turbo dry, and in the right hand side you can see the cone dry, the cone bottom vacuum dryer. Notice that the main difference between all of them is just the bottom. The first one, nudge filter dryer, operates not only as a dryer but also as a filter. The second one, just as a dryer. We've substituted the filtering bottom by a pan. The third one, ConDry, has a conical bottom focused to avoid the residual heel and then focused to improve the percentage of emptying. Vertical configuration compels us to place all equipment in the same room. These are the two horizontal options, the two horizontal vacuum dryers. On the right hand side you can see the paddle dryer within a front door and then a suspended shaft in cantilever design. The second one in the middle, the Thermomix. Fixing the shaft from both sides, the front door disappears and becomes suitable. Thermomix becomes suitable for larger capacities. Horizontal execution gives us the chance to place the vacuum dryer between a clean room and a technical room, just within installing a separation panel. The second concept to deal is heating capacity and time to complete a drying process. Time to complete a drying process is related with the heated area directly in contact with the product. Gentle agitation also helps to keep the solid close from the heated areas. For this, in terms of heat transfer or drying time, the best options we suggest are the ConDry and also the Turbo Dry. As you can see in the legend, I've highlighted these two options in green. The third tip to deal is gentle drying. Knowing all vacuum dryers work at a lower temperature, gentle drying is related with the agitator. In terms of gentle drying or gentle mixing, the most suitable options are, first of all, the ConDry, but also the Presso Filtro or the Turbo Dry. The main reason is the gentle agitation that allows us not to lift up the solid. Notice ConDry belongs from a gentle solid mixer and became a dryer later on. This is the fourth concept to deal, mixing energy. We know also that time to time we need not only to dry, but also to mix. Regarding mixing energy, the best options are the pharma dry and the Thermomix. Of course, ConDry is also a good option, but in terms of mixing energy, it's not exactly at the same level. It's a little bit worse. For this, I've headlined all these three options, paddle dryer, Thermomix, but I've also decided to headline the ConDry. In the fifth concept, we will deal the tendency to make lamps. We know that time to time, few products have the tendency to make lamps. Lamp itself is not a problem. The problem is inside the lamp remains some entrapped moisture that cannot be removed. Also, such lamps are not easy to mill. This tendency compels us to install a delamping device. It's important to know that within this device we break not only all lamps, but also we take the risk to break crystals. You can see in the slide, in the middle of the slide, you can see, let's say, the problem, lamps, at the end of the standard drying process. And in the right hand side, you can see the solution, the same process within the lamping device already installed in the unit. This device is available for 3 different options: pharma dry thermomix, and also it's possible also to install in a con dry. The next tip we will consider is percentage of emptying. As most of the products we dry are quite expensive and we always operate batch-wise, percentage of emptying become relevant. You can see in this slide that at the end of the discharging process always remain a final hill, a residual hill, that it's not possible to remove automatically. Regarding this tip, this concept, the best solution entails the installation of a con dry. Con dry is the only vacuum dryer with a conical bottom, and then is the only vacuum dryer you can avoid the final residual hill. This is what I've tried to show in this slide. How easy is to avoid the final hill and how easy is to discharge the solid after drying. For this, I've just highlighted the con dry as an option. Still talking about percentage of emptying, notice a glove box can be always installed to remove manually the final hill. But this option is just valid for nuches and turbo dry. Have a look in the slide and you can see in the right hand side, you can see the nuche filter dryer within a single chamber glove box to remove manually the solid. In the center of the slide you can see the same information, but just showing how easy it is to remove the solid within a glove box. The next concept we will raise is friendly inspection and hand cleanability. In terms of friendly inspection, cleanability, etc., obviously pharma dry is the best option. It's the only vacuum dryer within an openable front door. Then, as you can see in the slide, within this pharma dry with the door already opened, you can see how easy it is not only to inspect and clean the machine, but also how easy it is to remove manually the final hill. Still in the same concept, still dealing the same tip, don't forget that it's possible to open the nuche filter dryer or the turbo dry just lifting down the bottom within 3 hydraulic pistons. This is what you can see here in this slide, in the photo. How easy it is to open the system for easy inspection and hand cleanability. Of course, hydraulic discharging valve can be also easily disassembled for easy inspection. Not common execution, but of course available, is the single column supporting leg. I mean, it's possible to remove the three standard supporting legs and support the dryer within just one single column. See in the right hand side how we can support all dryer with just one single column. Then the bottom can be lifted down and later on rotated and removed from the vertical axis, improving the hand cleanability and the direct inspection. In the middle of the slide, you can see how we can rotate the filtering bottom or the pump bottom in order to be removed from the vertical axis for an easy inspection and improving the cleanability. In the con dry, the conical bottom can be lifted down within three hydraulic pistons as we've done with the nudge filter dryer or the turbo dry. Single column supporting leg and bottom rotation for a better hand cleanability and direct inspection is also available in the con dry. This is what you can see in this slide. First, how easy it is to rotate the bottom to be removed from the vertical axis, and in the center of the slide, how we can lift down the bottom within just one single column, within just one single hydraulic piston. Regarding the last concept, filtration, Presso Filtro nudge filter dryer is the only vacuum dryer capable to operate also as a filter. Wash the cake, reslurry, all of this can be executed additionally before drying. For this, nudge filter dryer is a really well-known technology that allows you to execute several steps in just one single equipment. Coming back to the first slide, notice we've been descending along the first column, finding the best option for each concept, for each tip. Now it's time to do the same job, to repeat again the same, but in the opposite way. I mean, instead of concept per concept trying to find the best solution, now we are going to deal dryer by dryer, just highlighting the most relevant benefit of each of them. The first vacuum dryer we've been considering is the Thermomix, the first column. As you can see, the main benefit of this option is the mixing efficiency. Also, of course, it's possible to install a delamping device. The next one is the pharma dry. As you can see in the column, the main benefit of the pharma dry is the inspection, the easy inspection and the hand cleanability. In fact, it's the only dryer within an openable front door. Of course, as you can see in the column, of course it's quite good in mixing efficiency, and of course you can also install a delamping device. The third vacuum dryer is the turbo dry. As you can see in the column, the main benefit of this option is the speed. I mean, TurboDry has the highest overall heat transfer ratio. I mean, in terms of drying, is the best and the fast option. The fourth one is the ConDry. The main difference between ConDry and all other options is the percentage of emptying. ConDry is the only vacuum dryer within a conical bottom, and then for this is the only vacuum dryer that we can avoid the final residual heel, and for this we improve significantly the percentage of emptying. Notice also in the column that I've headlined the time required to complete a drying process, because in terms of drying, ConDry has also a quite good overall heat transfer ratio. Presofiltro is the only vacuum dryer capable to operate as a filter. Wash the cake or slurry can be also executed additionally before drying. For this, as I've mentioned previously, Presofiltro Nudge Filter Dryer is a really well-known technology that allows you to execute several steps in just one single equipment. From my side, nothing else. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. It's been an absolute pleasure for me to share all this information with you all. Once again, please keep my contact details and feel free to reach me later on to solve further questions, to deal a projects, etc. Thank you very much and goodbye.